Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live SEO Q&A session with Chris and my good self. Apologies for the few minutes delay. I actually forgot to send Chris the link that is required to come on.
You thought I was busting your chops. I was like, no, I'm late, dude.
I thought he was telling me he was going to be late, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I read it again, and I'm like, right. Look, I've not sent him the link, so we're here now, though, here to answer any questions. But before we answer any questions, check out Randy Roday, 38 Digital Market press releases up there. The link is below, who have kindly sponsored the show for a period of time now. So check them out. They do great press releases, and Randy's also a great guy. But equally as important, we have 13 days until digitalunfiltered.com. If you've not yet got your ticket, make sure you get that ticket. It is in 13 days' time, so make sure you get in and get your space at the event in Vegas, the 22nd till the 24th of August. It is going to be roasting hot and should be a lot of fun. Amazing speakers and equally amazing storytellers at the bar as well. So it's not just about the speakers on stage. A whole bunch of great people coming to the event that are not necessarily speaking. So come along and have a drink, network, pick up some knowledge bombs, and so on and so forth. So Digital Unfiltered, guys. And you will see the likes of Holly Starks is going to be there. She is also in the chat today. Looking forward to it, Holly. It has been a while. I'm trying to think when I last saw Holly. Spring training. Mr. Randy Roday will also be there. Randy 38 Digital Market. We did give you your standard plug.
We did it, man. I'm just I can't believe it, man. Dude, I never would have thought in a million years.
It's crazy. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really warm though. Because I think there's 15 days in a row where it's been 100 plus.
Where are you staying at?
So before I come to Caesar's Palace, I'm going to another event. So from the 19th until the 22nd, I'm staying in Henderson. There's an event on there, and I'm just meeting up with a few friends. And then on the 22nd, I'll head up. Now, I am still undecided, Chris, whether I want to stay in Caesar's Palace or not. I don't know whether I should just get an Airbnb with a nice pool where I can fucking chill, because, of course, I'll be at Caesar's Palace for the event, but do I really want the hustle and bustle of trying to get a phone call done or something in a hotel that big with that many people? It's fucking stressful. So I am more than likely probably going to hit an Airbnb and I just go into Caesar's Palace and we'll see what happens.
Caesar's, it's a place.
But we'll see what happens. Subject to change. But I'm definitely staying in Henderson until the 22nd. So
fair enough.
There we go. But honey, we are both very well. Killer SEO combo. Maeve, that rhymes with shave, is here as well. Might be coming to Vegas. Well, might, maybe not.
Be nice.
Harry Johnson is a hello, dear. Hello,
Harry Johnson.
Yeah.
Is that your birth name? The doctor was like, are you sure this is what you want to name your son? Oh, that's funny.
Eric McDonald's. Hello. Holly is there. A reason to design. Good good to see you again. Questions are popping in. We'll just go through them as we can, or as quickly as we can. Put them in the chat. We'll work our way through one at a time. Ajit Singh. How to get traffic on the new blog pages. I have 10 blogs. Right. Fucking hell. So you've got 10 blogs. So not 10 blog posts. So you've got 10 different domain names. How does he get traffic on these new blog pages, Chris?
Mr. Sai, you know, I've had this issue too. I mean, it sounds like you might be a little bit too thin and you did not focus your attention and your time and your resource towards the property in order to get it off the ground and then move on to the next asset. You know, I think starting with, why not bring it down to one? You know, could it be that maybe you have the steps? I mean, you're launching 10 blogs, but did you take the time? Are the pages optimized? Is the internal linking good? Did you do proper keyword research? I mean, there's countless reasons why you couldn't be getting traffic, but I'm assuming that it's because of thinness, lack of attention and time. You know, focus your attention and your resources on the one and then move on to the next asset. So hopefully that helps you. But the SEO list is probably, I mean, dude, without looking at every single one, I mean, it could be countless things, bro.
Yeah. Hard one to answer specifically, but we've all suffered from this. Ajit trying to launch 10 things at the one time. Think we're going to take over the world.
That's right.
And it never fucking happens. So get one, get it right, and move on.
And it's hard. Yeah.
But Ahmad, impact of AI content on SEO. Can I got for AI content if I align my ideas? So basically, I think what he's saying is, can he use AI content if he aligns his ideas?
1,000%. I mean, everything we're reading right now is definitely at some point been touched by AI, even if it's Grammarly, you know? So yeah, of course you can, you know? Do you have a different view? Is it adding value of in any type of way? Of course you can use it for sure. A really good, I really like, did you ever see those, I think it's like, iPhoner, like if you're looking for like iPhone versus Google Pixel, I forget the sites that come up, but they're big name sites. I was reading their content. I'm like, wow, you can tell it's AI, but it's done so well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the care that we need to take. I'm going to use that as an example in a video. I think it's good. You can tell it's just too good that it's, you know, but it's so good. You know what I mean?
So good. That's the way to go. Make sure it offers value to the user. That's the bottom line.
That's it, man.
Big Hawks, howdy y'all. Hope you're well, buddy.
Caught my attention.
Venkat, how to start SEO for software selling company in the USA. What would be your plan of attack, Chris?
I mean, I've never really did software selling per se. However, I think the plan of attack would be like anything else. Go and see what the winners are doing. And I'd mimic from there. What's the structure look like? What do the pages look like? How many pages do they have? How old are they? What kind of links do they have? Go see what's Google rewarding and what are the winners doing? There's the blueprint. That's where I would start.
Yeah.
That's it.
Maeve is going to Digital Unfiltered in Dublin. Much better crack. They don't have the copyright for that, Maeve. Digital Unfiltered is us. We are Digital Unfiltered.
That's right.
Eric McDonald, best way to increase conversion rates for pages for clicks on call buttons or form submissions. Site ranks high for keywords and has prices, more info, download, etc. But conversions seem low. Any ideas?
Conversions seem low. Well, have you talked to other people in the industry? In your industry, in your niche, in your market, maybe others that are doing the same exact thing? Are they low or just perceived low? We always want them to be higher. The next element is, are you tracking like a clarity type element on the website? Are we seeing where the user is going? Like there has to be a problem if the conversions are low. So are you tracking in order to be able to find something to fix? That's where I would start. So I track the clicks, track the people that are coming, maybe run some ads to the page and track that, get 1,000 people to the page or 500 people to the page and see what's going on. And then also too, double check with people that you know and see, is this, I think I should be hitting 30%, but I'm only hitting 4. Maybe 4 is not that bad, So those are the 2 things I would look at.
I don't think there's much else you can add other than, is it an industry related thing? Is it time of year related thing? I don't know if this has been ongoing or whatever, Eric, but do you go a step further and try and understand where users go wrong, what they do on the website? Do you use a hot jar to see what's going on when people hit your website? Are they struggling with something? There's a whole bunch of stuff, but I think first thing I would ask is this industry wide? Am I actually doing okay? So yeah, sorry we couldn't help you any further, Eric. Surab, good to see you. Digital Unfiltered seems great. It is an amazing lineup, and yeah, very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everything about Digital Unfiltered other than the traveling there, because Vegas is a 10-hour trip for me. So yeah, it's,
I'm sorry, Craig.
I love Vegas itself. Once I'm there, dude, I'm good. I am good.
Well, next year, would you do it at Vegas again?
It depends how well that goes. Yeah. But I wouldn't say no to Vegas. But is Vegas a problem? Should it have been in New York, where we maybe could have got more of Europe across? The weather in Vegas, I've been speaking to people, and some people are like, dude, it's fucking hot in Vegas. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And stuff like that. So all of these kind of wee things need to be taken into consideration, because are we losing out on people because of it's 100 plus in terms of the heat out there? So we have to see how it goes, but and take things into account. But Vegas is a great place overall. I love it. So selfishly, I would say yes to Vegas every year.
Yeah, that's sweet. But awesome, but yeah. Sorry, little Chris was dinging me. I'm on dad duty.
On dad duty and doing this multitasking.
Yep.
NVDH. Should you build out blog pages every week targeting different keywords for a plumber site if your competition is not? And also the same with a GBP post.
I see that, I see this a lot, because it's, content is king, right? And then I get these local businesses that are in non-competitive markets and they're cranking out all these articles. Like, dude, you only drive 20 miles, right, to service your customers. So depending on your market, your demographic, and your business, the answer is yes. But should you be, if you're a plumber that only services a 10 or 20 mile radius and your service pages are ranking in the cities that you want to win? Do I want to generate informational based content and get traffic from all over the world? Does that really benefit your business? Or would doing more select, targeted type of pieces of content, maybe the search volume is lower, but the content that you are producing is more about the areas that you're actually serving, or different types of maybe service that you're doing, so yes and no. Should you be cranking them out? No. And yes, that's a hard one to answer. I get that a lot with local business owners. Like,
what about the GBP posts?
Yeah, the posting, do that every day because it can potentially generate a call. Is that what they're asking? GBP posting? And the same for GBP?
Yeah.
Yeah, the posting every day, because you can automate that. And when you could see the insights on that, it would produce a lot of impressions, but not really that many calls. Maybe you'd get a call. So, but it's worth of, you know, you set it up one time and it runs every single day and it could produce a free call. Sounds like a deal to me. Yeah. So yes, on the GBP, maybe within the website. Because again, if you're only servicing X amount of miles and your service pages are ranking, focus that money and that budget on your service pages. Are you in top 3 in all your cities for all the services you do? I don't want to produce informational based content when I'm a local service business. For what? For what? So my traffic numbers go up? That doesn't produce money. You know, focus the attention on the service pages and supporting pages for those. But that's it. That's it. Yeah. What do you think, Craig?
So, you know, I wouldn't certainly encourage anyone to be adding pages for the sheer hell of it. You know, if your competition have not got, you know, you always look to the competition. What are they doing to achieve their rankings? If they're not adding a blog every week targeting different keywords, why should you? But what I could almost guarantee, if your competition are doing decent SEOs, they will have landing pages. And like you say, keywords targeting services or areas that may have a low search volume, even if it shows nothing on SEMrush. SEMrush don't show anything 20 and below. Now, I know for a fact of guys in certain niches who have area after area after area after area that get 1 or 2 phone calls a day. With all of that combined, they generate a lot of leads, even though SEMrush says it has 0 traffic. And even when you go to SEMrush and whatever, it shows that the website gets little to no traffic. But we know that the leads pop in. And Holly knows, you know, the guy I'm talking about, Mr. Dooley. Holly, you know, he's got a lot of lead gen websites for his business in a lot of very, very hyper local areas, Chris. And, you know, that's the thing. They're all low search volume, but there's volume in all of the areas, which means that he gets volume of leads. So I think that's the best piece of advice you could answer to someone like that. Do we just add blogs for the sheer hell of it to look busy and go after all these kind of terms that are not really valuable to us, or do we add in area after area after area, service after service after service? That would be the strategy that I would go down. So pretty much what Chris said.
Yeah.
But yeah, just emphasizing that.
I like that structure though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it a little cleaner, crisper.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fair.
Always. How to remove cannibalization, Chris?
That's fun. Yeah, I've been playing around with a script to help me with that. That can be a problem. Well, first identifying that you have an issue and that it's a true issue, right? And then nipping those impressions in the butt before they start turning into clicks. So identifying the issue is key. So how to remove it is quite simple. We can either re-optimize the page or change internal link flow. But that's usually what we're going to do. If I have a cannibalization issue, it's going to be a re-optimization of the page that's the problem, or I'll rechannel the internal link flow, or both. That's usually what I'm after. That's it. It's usually a re-optimization though. Really simple, but it's identifying it and then having something running so you can identify it before it even happens. Once I start to see those impressions start rolling up, then, oh, hey, let's go see what's going on here. Yeah. It's going to be a problem on a big site, but it's a job.
Holly has a question. Mid-Journey, Leonardo, or Stable Fusion? I think it's called, is it Stable Diffusion or Stable Fusion?
I never played around with Leonardo. I played with Dolly, Stable Fusion, and Mid-Journey. I never heard of Leonardo, but if Holly's talking about it, let's go see what that is.
See, I've never heard of Stable Fusion or Diffusion, whatever it's called. Stable. I've heard of. I think Stable Diffusion. Yeah. I have heard of people talking about, but to be honest, I am not. I've got my own in-house graphic designer, so I don't really rely too heavily on AI. images, to be honest, Holly. I fucking hate Discord, and I hate Mid-Journey. Just I think it's fucking hard to get your head around. So I have played around with it and stuff like that. I just don't like Discord, and I think it's really hard to use. So yeah, I'm not using much AI images at the moment. What are you cranking your stuff out with, Chris?
I was using. It's okay, son. Thank you. I'm on the call. Thank you. Primarily, I was messing around with Dolly, but I really like the Mid-Journey. Is what we've been utilizing. Yeah, it's cheap. It's $20 or $30 we've been paying. So we've been utilizing. And it gives you all those images, and then you can take those images, take it over to Dolly, and get variations. It's pretty cool.
What one are you using, Holly? Holly goes for the wacky option. So what one should we be using, Holly? Because that fucking Mid-Journey I can't be fucking arsed with. Give me an
you don't like going in there like doing like what? Because you have to go into Discord and like it's like a pain.
Yeah, it's just a fucking pain in the tits.
It is a pain. No.
I don't fucking get like, you know, the fact that people can see your prompts now. I know you could create your own server and all this stuff, but people in there can see what you're fucking doing. And not that I've got anything to hide, but you're just like, nah, fuck this. This sucks. Just let me punch in a keyword somewhere and you go away and do all the fucking hard work and spit out a nice image. Just give me something that's simple and easy.
Yep.
That's all I want. I don't need all this garbage, but yeah.
Dolly's simple and easy. I think you'd like that. Did you mess with that?
Yeah. But to be honest, I don't deal with any of my images. Someone in the office, I've got a full-time video graphic person that just deals with all my imagery, so I get off the hook. So that's my way around it. But Big Hawks has a question. My company has SEO clients that don't have a content strategy. They basically don't pay enough for content. What is the best strategy for providing SEO value without content?
I mean, without the content, the optimization, and the page refreshing. Without the content, what are we going to do at the off page? I mean, without budget for content and content optimization and re-optimization, where do you apply value? If they don't have enough to produce the content or optimize the content, what are you going to fill them up with links? I mean, that's not even. You have to allocate some of the dollars towards content and content optimization. You can't get around that. It's 80% of the game is the content. And the only other value you can add is the restructuring, taking care of the internal linking, and re-optimizing the pages would be the main value then. Getting the structure, re-optimization, and the internal linking if we can't produce content, and then being very strategic with the links that we do buy.
I would give a slightly different answer to Chris. Now, what Chris has said, I don't disagree with at all. You know, I think the content is a big part of the SEO game. However, if someone doesn't have enough budget, try and put the content onto them. In the company, you know, you can train them, educate them, and say, guys, you fucking do the content. I will do the links, because links are obviously important as well. And, you know, I've got a link building agency, and we basically sell to agencies who find link building hard. So we basically just sell them links, end of story. We don't get involved in the content or the on-page. We fill the gap that people can't fulfill. Now, the flip side of that, you know, if your customer doesn't have enough money to fill all gaps, and they don't pay enough for content, someone somewhere has to, and I would be trying to offload that onto the customer, because they know their business, their service, or their product's best. And I would always be trying to, you know, pass that off. You know, most of the time, I don't particularly want to do SEO for a website that doesn't have a decent content strategy in place. And a lot of businesses will come to you. And of course, you know, if we have to fulfill content strategy, we will. But, you know, I certainly wouldn't like to be dealing with small businesses that have little to no content and have to be fulfilling that, because I think content's a tedious job. And but you've got AI and everything out there that can help you along the way and help you in terms of speed, keeping your costs low and everything else. So you can look at that, but I would be trying to either train or offload that onto the client, and just make sure you've got the right KPIs in place. But you could build links to the cows come home. If there's no content there and the content strategy is not in place, then you're wasting everyone's time and money. So that's my take on it, Big Hawks. Shubham, does tiered backlink structure still work good? If yes, what will be your tiers? Guest post is tier 1, web point 2.0 is tier 2, or any other route. So Chris, first part, does tiered backlinks still work good?
Absolutely. 100%.
Would you? So let's say guest post is tier 1. I think no one can argue that's you know that's what happens a lot across a lot of websites. But web 2.0 is tier 2, Chris. Is that something you would use as a tier 2, or would you use edits or something else as a tier 2?
It's always usually edits, almost always an edit. Pretty much always either an edit or some type of automation, depending on the budget of the campaign. But yeah, no, it's going to be guest post, your PR. Web 2 would be tier 1. EDU links, anything that's clean that I don't mind showing in a backlink profile. And then tier 2 is always either automation or niche edits, cheap edits.
Yeah, cheap, powerful. Yeah, edits is tier 2. But don't overcomplicate it. That is what many people do. It should be. And you don't need 10 tiers, by the way. Everyone always goes, how deep do you go? And you're like, dude, come on, man.
2.
Yeah, I don't go more than 2. Ahmed, people are telling you should write that you should rewrite AI generated content, and just copy and pasting it will result in a Google penalty. But I have read a Google documentation that didn't mention anything like that. So I'm not sure Chris reads official Google documentation by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Google, and John Mueller has said, Google are not out to penalize AI content as such. It's like Chris said earlier, the quality of that content, is it offering value to that user, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, certain people will tell you whatever they like in this industry. You know, so you need to be careful, one, in who you're listening to. Now, would copying and pasting it result in a Google penalty? You know, what is a Google penalty? Do you mean that content not ranking? I don't think you're likely to get a penalty for it. Will that actually rank that well? I'm not so sure, but you know, I think, you know, having a bit of human editing, paraphrasing, you know, tweaking here and there, is going to help you. And like Chris said earlier, on that website, you said you knew it was AI, but it was clearly fine-tuned to perfection. The fine-tuning is the part that's important for me anyway, Ahmed. I don't know if, Chris, you think differently, but it certainly has to have some form of fine-tuning. It's not just copy and pasted from the tool.
Well, that as far as the documentation, Google, I have a main link. They're like SEO 101, like their rules and terms of service. I go through that it's often, and it's very, very clear, their rules. and I never read it to be a manual action to utilize AI content. As far as an indexing or an algorithmic penalty, that could happen for sure. Yeah, there's not much to add there, Craig. You pretty much cleared that up.
Informational based content based on the city.
No, I see this a lot, or not a lot, but I see it kind of often. Building out standalone pages that are just geo pages. Why? I don't really understand that. I get having pieces of information within a body of content that are going to be about the area inside of your service-based location page. That makes sense. But building out dedicated pages in order to build relevancy within a silo, where's the value? And then two, what you have double or triple the amount of pages of informational content about the city as opposed to your service location pages. Well, what's your site about them? You know, so I'm not a big fan of doing that. How about you? You're not really doing too much local stuff though, right?
Nah, I don't do a huge amount of local stuff. Used to fuck around with all that stuff, but obviously the goalposts and the rules and everything are a lot more aggressive with everything. Obviously, I've got a lot of friends who still do it, like Slorry and you know, various other mutual friends we've got, Chris. So I would consider myself to still have my finger fairly on the pulse when it comes to local, but it's just fucking too volatile, dude. It's fucking horrendous. Yeah, not for me. Not for me at this stage.
Fair enough. But does that make sense? Just building out a geo page?
Nah. I mean, no. Definitely not. You know, I think, you know, are you doing it for local prominence? You know, are you adding, you know, the people will argue all sorts of things. You know, do Google, you know, there is that local prominence API and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, do you want to add that in? Some people will argue yes and no, but, you know, certainly from the pages or the people that I know that do this stuff and do it at scale and do it successfully, nah, the answer's no.
That's it. Yeah.
So
if I search car accident lawyer Philly, car accident lawyer New York, car accident lawyer Los Angeles, I don't see none of the winners doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Sell my house, Austin, Texas. Like it just doesn't, any of the harder niches that I've had to compete in, the winners are not doing that.
Yeah.
No way. But they are going in there and retuning those pages almost weekly. I do see a lot of changes happening on a very consistent basis, which is crazy to me. And a lot of link building.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Does adding more pages dilute link juice, or is it a myth? So let me ask you this. I'll rephrase this, Chris. You've got a website that's got 400 blog posts on it, or pages, whatever you want. And 200 of them are not getting any traffic impressions or whatever. And for some reason, you decide to cull those 200 pages. Do you think you would see a spike in your other rankings on your other pages by culling some of those pages?
Well, I didn't. Well, we just did this. I think it was like 126 dead pages.
Yeah.
Did we get a spike of traffic after removing them? No, but it didn't hinder our performance either. Mm-hmm. We didn't get like a skyrocket in traffic, but to me, it was like, if there's no link equity and there's no traffic, what's the point? It's like dragging a dead body. It's like, oh, geez, like at some point you just got to cut the string. So yeah, no, I didn't see a spike in traffic. We also did this again too on these, we call them Gen 2 sites, where we were building out a boatload of informational content to see what would stick. And we just cut, that was probably 4,800 pages, just trimmed them, gone. And that didn't hurt us at all, but it didn't give us a spike in traffic. So
do you think then adding more pages dilutes the link juice, or you think that's just a fucking myth?
Adding more pages onto my website?
Yeah.
I can't see that. I can't see that I'm going to hurt the performance of my other web pages by building new pages. I don't feel as though that's true.
So I would, refer to some of the biggest websites in the world out there, that have literally got tens of thousands of posts on them. I think the big and the point I'm trying to make here is kill off stuff that doesn't get, doesn't perform, doesn't get impressions or any clicks. If it's dead, it's dead. Get fucking rid of it. But if the pages are performing well, I've seen websites that have 500 pages doing reasonably well. I've seen websites with 10,000 pages ranking really well. Is it a myth? I would potentially say yes. But I think a lot of people will kill dead pages and feel that they're retaining some form of link juice. But if Chris, like you say, you pull some of that stuff down, it doesn't hinder your performance, but you don't see some massive, double your rankings or anything like that. I just don't think that's the way Google work, in my opinion. But yeah, look at New York Times. How many fucking pages are on that website? I would dread to even look.
Well, and Google ranks pages, not sites.
Yeah.
So I think having more pages that have value pointing to other pages will help. But if dead pages are dead pages.
Yeah. Hopefully that explains it, honey. Reason to design. Quick on changes to privacy and its effect on ad revenue for sites. Is there a need for more affiliate targeted content or expanding current efforts, email retargeting, etc.? What are you expecting?
Quick on changes to privacy and its effect on ad revenue for sites. Is there a need for more affiliate targeted content or expanding? I'm not really 100% clear on the question. What do you make about that? Quick on changes to privacy? I'm not understanding what you're asking exactly. I'm sorry. And its effect on ad revenue?
Let us know exactly what you mean in a little bit more detail. Reason to design. I'm a little bit not sure either. But let us know. We'll come back to it. Aaron is asking, Chris, when are you going to jump on that piano and bust out some Beethoven for us?
Later. We'll do that later. Later on.
Maybe at digitalunfiltered.com. Because Aaron is coming. I was looking through all the people who bought tickets so far, and Aaron's name is on there. So I've not met Aaron in person, so it'll be fun to see him in person. And maybe you could do the Beethoven for us, Aaron. We're performing monkeys on YouTube, but maybe we should flip this in its head, and you can be the guy giving us entertainment in Vegas. Why not? How would a backlink campaign look like, Chris?
How would a backlink campaign look like?
And he's went on to ask, how should I prepare a backlink campaign for a local business? So that might be a better one to answer.
How would I prepare a backlink campaign? Well, the very first thing is understanding which keywords and service-based keywords you're targeting, like which SERPs are we targeting? And then then we need to figure out, well, who's in front of us and what exactly do they have? Like as far as quality links is what I'm concerned with, because I'm going to take care of the basics no matter what. I'm going to take care of the citations, the PR. I'll take care of the data aggregation submission. So PR, data aggregation submission, and citations off the rip no matter what. Then I'm going to get my paid directories and any type of paid niche specific directory we like to get listed on there. And then we start looking at, okay, well, which SERPs do we want to be in? What's going to be most profitable for the business owner? Who's in front of us and what's the deficit? And then it's just a matter of budget. We'll break that down over month by month. Okay, we need 260 referring domains. All right, we want to do this in 90 days. All right, let's break it down. That's what it would look like for me. Pretty much, that's about it.
I don't think there's much else you can add to that. That is a good, solid strategy right there. Nicole hates Discord as well. It is painful. Business growth ready. You pull a mid-journey into your Discord server so you work in private and easy to... Dude, there's nothing easy about Discord, not for my pea brain. Just fucking... Yeah. But Holly is using them all. Erotica is Leonardo. Home services, etc. Mid-journey. And started messing... bless me, with Stable Fusion now. So Holly is using them all. Why not? If it's working for you, happy days. Can you provide a recommended niche edit provider by any chance, Chris?
On the new store launch, I'll have them, but no. Sorry.
What?
I'll have them in the store, but not. We're redoing the store. I've had a lot of missteps, so we're relaunching and rebranding. But I will have them, but not currently. Unless you want them, unless you want to buy 100 of them.
Yeah,
I might be able to do it for you. Yeah.
The next question: can you recommend link vendors for local services or clients, Chris? So when is your new launch happening? Is it a week, 2 weeks, 2 months? What are we looking at?
Yeah, this week. By next week. I'm just at the debate in my mind, though. Do I want to still run it under Chris Palmer, or do I want to just put it under a name? That's the only thing I'm like, what do I want to do?
If you want it as a sellable asset, do it under another name. Because that's something that potentially, if you're doing X, Y, or Z money per month, someone might buy that up, a bigger link building agency or whatever. Whereas if it's under Chris Palmer marketing, you've got less chance of selling that. Well, you've got no chance of selling Chris Palmer marketing on, unless you're selling yourself. So I think, segmenting these things up and creating a business that potentially can be built up and flipped on has to be the way forward.
The objective.
Yeah. That's just my opinion, but
that's what I was thinking. The same thing. You could be the face, Chris, but just can't be you.
Yeah.
Because then every issue comes right back. If there is an issue, it always is you, too. Which is, it's like, dude, it's not. I didn't do anything to you. Like, I want to help you. That's why I'm here. But you know how it is.
Yeah. Azad Ali, how to become an authority on a particular topic? What would be my strategy? Where do you start? I mean, it's a long-winded process, whether that be YouTube, LinkedIn, speaking at industry events, being in the press, there's so many different things that you have to do to build up that authority on a particular topic. Let's say it's the kind of medic niche that you were trying to become an authority in. You need to be in medical journals. You need to, again, it depends on what that particular topic is. Some are easier than others. Obviously, anything that affects your money, your life, and stuff like that obviously seem to be that little bit more difficult. But I think, you've got to start putting yourself out there, joining all the dots for Google to understand that you really are a player. And Chris Palmer's someone who's built himself up to be an authority in our industry over the last few years. And you know, what's he done? He's been out at events, he's been doing YouTube, he's been fucking putting himself all over the place. And you know, I haven't counted Chris's videos on his YouTube alone, but the time and effort that's went into that is substantial. So there's no real quick, easy way to become an authority. I think it's a 3-5 year plan of sheer graft, determination and stuff. I started my supposedly building my authority in the industry earlier than Chris, but it's been 2016 up until now. It's taken me to get from a guy that was hiding behind an agency that no one knew to where I've got in the industry and speaking at events and all that kind of stuff. So it has taken, again, 7 years, if you want to call it that, for me. Chris has done well in the last probably 3 or 4. Chris, would you say, when you started to really ramp this shit up?
Yeah, 3-4 years. Like, started actually like really going hard and trying to build my name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we started 3 years ago doing these. And I think that's when I had first. I'd seen him in the chat before, and stuff like that, and it was always kind of, you could just tell there was some weird SEO guy that knew a little bit too much, asking sorts of oddball questions. But yeah, I hadn't seen you speak at an event, hadn't seen much of you other than in the comments. So I think you were relatively unknown, but it's, in that 3 years, you've literally blown up massively. So that as I say, that you've got to look at these kind of things and follow what's worked for people like Chris, or obviously follow someone in the particular topic that you're in, rather than what we've done. But I think it's a lot of different things, and a cost to that as well. How much does it cost you to travel to all these events, Chris? And how much time would it cost to make the hundreds, if not thousands, of YouTube videos and the editing and the graphics that you probably pay for? You probably spent fucking hundreds of thousands of pounds overall, if not more. I don't know what that figure would be, but yeah, it's not cheap. So
it's not cheap. Oh.
Hello, Gagan. Content is fuel, says Sadson Music Group. Big Hawks says thank you. Holly Starks is saying, Chris, did you push traffic to your podcast? You're ranking very high for SEO podcasts and Spotify. Pissing me off because I can't bump you. What did you run to, if anything?
I stopped running traffic to it because I got kicked off of Anchor. Well, they switched like platforms and they removed my whole podcast. I just started. We're gonna do a new one. I stopped running traffic to it. But
you were?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah. What, just paid traffic and stuff, or bots, or all of that?
I was going on Fiverr.
Nice.
Yeah.
I get a lot of emails now from people going, Craig, I want to rank your podcast for this, that, and the next thing. There's a lot of people offering that gig now.
Yep. And I just said, all right. The gentleman that I had doing it for me, it was free at first. And I was like, I'll give you a try, because I was like testing with the first one, trying to figure out like, hey, how does this work? What's going on?
Yeah. And
like when it started popping up, I was like, all right, this is working. That was it. Yeah. I don't think there's any magic there,
Holly's trying to bump you. Fucking hell, Holly. Come on. Push me up there instead, Holly. Let's do something. I don't actually try and push my podcast, to be honest. I've actually not recorded the podcast for a while. Something I may get back to, but I probably want to be broader than SEO, maybe more businessy type stuff as well. Try to integrate some of that. I've done maybe 100 podcasts and they're boring the fucking life out of me now. So talking about SEO, so I want to broaden it. Should a niche edit always be used to power guest posts and not pointing directly to your money pages? So, Chris, you ever point niche edits direct?
Well, I think there's different qualities of edits. I have pointed to internal buffer pages, but like if I have a client that's trying to rank for, I don't know, car accident attorney in Houston, it's not going to be something that I'm going to utilize pointing at their site. No, definitely not. Not if I want to keep my job. No, it depends. On an internal buffer page or like a supporting piece of content, yeah, we'll utilize edits.
They do geo to try and cheat the algo, said Sadson Music. Does empty anchor text from guest post sites like Money Robot help in ranking?
Empty anchor text. I like to utilize naked, not empty. Just naked, just the URL. But and then as far as Money Robot is concerned, I wouldn't say that that's going to be relatively helpful. I just had a photographer come to me that they were primarily utilizing Money Robot, and he just got dumped from position 4 to position 23, and man, I would steer clear of Money Robot for pointing it directly at a site.
Cool. SEO is the laziest profession on earth. Do you agree with that, Chris?
No, I do not. That is a false statement, sir.
I would say for certain people in the industry, but some of the successful ones I know work harder than anyone I've ever saw. But I get it. SEO there's a lot of lazy motherfuckers that want to automate and do fuck all as well. So yeah, depends on what side of the industry you're looking at. But I know some that work like dogs, absolute dogs.
And you're always looking for shortcuts, but then you pay for it later on.
Yeah.
So that's one piece. But as far as like, if you're just a single site owner, like, yeah, you could take it easy. But if you're juggling 40, 50 campaigns and you're really trying to make some coin, it is not a lazy job. I mean, if you're trying to like really get it, no, it's nonstop. Brrr. Yeah, I mean, look at me, dude. Go back 5 years and look at me. Look at now, dude. It's like a wrinkle fest.
Gareth Boyd, good to see you. And I haven't forgotten about you, Gareth. I have just been so fucking stressed and busy with stuff that I've not even had the chance to check that stuff yet. But I will come back to you definitely. But Gareth is also coming to Digital Unfiltered. I've seen his name today on the list. So look forward to sharing a beer. But Gareth wouldn't like to come up against you in local SEO, Chris. But who is the one SEO you'd say has got local SEO locked down, if any, that you're aware of?
I mean, I'm stomping out some pretty big agencies right now in the legal space, but there is one, I don't want to say his name. There is one agency that they're doing pretty good work. They have a couple really good projects out there, and they're doing something. I'm trying to figure it out. They're booming. I think it's the traffic piece. I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah. Hey, where does SEMrush get the traffic analytic data? That's a great question for you. Where does that traffic data analytics come from? From people who have the toolbar or something plugged into their site?
No. So that traffic, so obviously SEMrush don't have access to anyone's fucking analytics. So the traffic gauge, unless you connect your own analytics to it, which you can do, they would be guessing based on a mathematical calculation of the keyword search volume, which can be inaccurate. So if they say you get 6,600 searches a month for your keywords and you're in position 1, they're going to apportion 80% or whatever it is to 6,600 and give you how much traffic you should be getting. So it's a guesstimate, but if you go and check SEMrush, for example, or any other tool, it's nothing to do with SEMrush. They all do this, and then actually check your analytics and stuff. It's fucking at least 5 times more traffic you actually get than what they suggest. But it is a mathematical calculation that they use based on keyword volume, the position, and what they perceive the top 3, 4, 5, whatever, all the different positions to get from that monthly search volume for each and every keyword. So it's the only way they can do it. And it's like I've emphasized for years, it's as good as a guide, but you can't take that as the holy grail of data. It's as simple as that.
But I noticed that, like, that particular agency I'm talking about, a gentleman in his agency, I look at his clients and it'll give me time on site information.
Yeah.
And I look at my other competitor in the same industry and it doesn't give me any information. So because it's like time on site, they're listed and everything.
Yeah. That's someone who's connected their Search Console and Analytics to SEMrush. So it can give you that data. Whereas not many people do that because they don't want their competitors knowing what fucking data is, the real data. Why would you? So
why? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because when I'm looking at some of the the big dog on the block, there's nothing.
Yeah.
But I look at this site and his other assets, at least the ones he lists as testimonials or whatever, and I pulled in all the data's right there. And I'm like, huh. And I know he's been on SEMrush and all that. He's on Forbes. I have a Forbes advisor. How do you get that, man? That was crazy. I was like, how'd you do that?
Would it be someone I know?
Maybe. He's a Forbes advisor. I think was on SEMrush too.
Yeah. Cool.
He's pretty big, but man, he's whatever he's doing with that traffic, man. And then when I check in SEMrush, it's 9 minutes on site. And it's just dude, the sites are just flying up. And I'm like, what? I mean, he's doing link building and stuff too, but the time on site and the traffic, and those sites are flying up in very competitive terms.
Nice.
Crazy. Yeah. Very nice. Yes. It's a pain in my butt is what he is.
TJ Bowman, good to see you. Eric, is there any fundamental difference between Web 2.0s and citation directory backlinks and the benefits both offer? Is there any difference, Chris, between the Web 2.0s and citations?
Well, I think how they're viewed, because think about a SERP that you're into, right? So let's say it's a car accident attorney or truck accident lawyer or, boats for sale, something like this. Google only rewards so many spots for the Web 2s, but how many more spots do they reward for directories, niche specific directories and citations? Right? In your SERPs, how many slots out of the 100 are given to Web 2s as opposed to, say, a citation or a directory? There's just more instances of the citations and directories. So what's the difference? I think that as far as an asset class, a citation or a niche specific directory is just more valuable than a Web 2. That's it.
Cool. We have a minute left, guys, so we'll try and smash through all of the last questions that are there. So Reason to Design says privacy policy changes to Google, no more cookies, sites using services like Mediavine, the roll-on effect from Google following Meta's footsteps in the use of privacy laws. What are you expecting? Are you making any changes?
I mean, whatever the changes or whatever needs to be done. I mean, not yet, but there's the compliancy department or whatever. Like that's a whole other, that's another person's job on like the big project that I'm working on the 2. Like there is literally a lady that just does that.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
What would happen? Obviously, people are asking, how do you see the future of schema? Google made the announcement about FAQs and how to. Again, when these changes happen, we need to see how the landscape changes. Is this scaremongering? Should we all jump on and fucking take schema off or whatever? You know, I think you have to wait and see what happens and adapt. You know, I've never been a big schema guy, purely because I'm a lazy motherfucker. But you know, these things change all the time, and it is what it is. You just got to adapt, and you know, if what they do.
I'm sorry. Where did Google make an announcement about FAQ and how-to schema?
So it came out yesterday, and they were talking about they're only going to give, you know, top websites the FAQ space and stuff like that. So, so basically, they're essentially saying everyone with FAQ schema is fucked unless you're a top website. So they put that out somewhere. I'm not sure if Google said it. You know, I've seen it on Facebook and you know in certain blogs. Whether Google actually said it or not, I am not so sure. But yeah, in the industry, people are talking about it.
I see. Yeah, try not to like that's like if you think of the world as a bunch of TV screens, like I try to like the Facebook and all that stuff, I try to shut those off. You know. Like I like to read the journeys and stuff on Black Hat, and I'll see like, okay, well, here's what worked for this guy, but I don't know, man. Are you on Facebook like reading this stuff, like consuming that, or no? Right?
Oh no, I'm not gonna out my way to consume it, but you know, a lot of people were talking about it yesterday, and yeah, obviously, I still flick through Facebook and you see certain things that just keep being repeated. So then you're like, oh fuck, I better have a look at this and have a little look. So, but yeah, I don't go out there looking for information on what's been tweaked on a daily basis or anything. From that point of view, if my money starts to drop on my websites, then I start fucking.
Then I start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're seeing. Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page.
Chris, could you clarify something I think you said earlier? Service pay, you said you would not build out lots of service and location pages. Did I understand that right? If so, that means the site is stuck in one location. So we didn't, or I certainly wouldn't have said that. That is not what was said. I was saying you should build out a lot more of these, even if they have zero search volume. I would still be building them out, Chris, because even if there's 3 clicks per month or 3 inquiries per month per location, if you do that at scale, you can actually generate a lot of inquiries for a lot of search volume, 0 keywords, because SEMrush and stuff don't show you anything below 20. So whether that be 5, 10, 15, 13, whatever the numbers might be, you know, I wouldn't be ignoring it because I know people have got businesses set up who do sheer scale based on the amount of service and location pages they have. So hopefully that clears that up.
Yeah.
How to check if proxies are working or not. There is a lot of checkers out there. But Chris, do you have one of those on your proxies?
Checker? No, I don't check it. But I mean, I check the ports before we send them out. But they're up. But there's a lot of checkers. But do you want to go to some site like you want to put in your proxy username, password to be able to check it? I don't know, man. That's up to you. I don't. I'm good. I don't want to check it that bad. If there's a problem, plug it in, get it, get your, like Scrapebox has it, GSA has it. Check your proxies in a tool that you have or something that you run locally on your machine and check it. You don't want to go out on the web to the #1 ranker for a site that's held in who knows where by who knows who, and put your username, password, and your proxy in. Like
Chris Palmer Marketing, proxies.chrispalmermarketing.com is that very specific tool where you can give Chris your proxies for free and your username and password. So
yeah,
I'm only joking. He doesn't do that.
No. But yeah, just there's a lot of, if you want to check them and you really just want to check them, just put something locally on your machine so you can check them. Don't go out to an online checker and put your stuff in. Like, come on, please.
We've got to apologize to Mooch About's mum, Paula, who's watching this with Mooch About and is not interested at all. She probably fucking hates what we're talking about, hates our accent and everything. But hello, Paula.
Sorry, Paula.
But Mooch About, this is the final question, guys. Holly's answered Sucky Snipers questions and stuff. This is the last one we can do. I have a button on my homepage that is linking to a second page that's now ranking for several keywords. I believe this is affecting the homepage's ranking. How can I be sure if this is affecting it? So linking to another page from your homepage, which has helped that second page rank for a bunch of keywords, and that would somehow affect your homepage ranking. Is that something you think happens, Chris? How can he test that to figure that
out? Well, so it could be siphoning or taking some keywords away, but by removing that, it might take away other stuff that you want to win. So Google is the one that makes all the decisions. So could you potentially be ranking for other keywords because of that button? Definitely, for sure. But is it worth the risk taking it away? What other keywords is that page now ranking for? You know, the only way that I would do it is test it. Try removing it and see. But you never know what you're going to lose.
Yeah. But on that note, guys, little Chris is hassling Chris now, so he's been patient for over an hour. We have to wrap up. Do check digitalunfiltered.com if you want to join us in Vegas in 2 weeks. Do check out 38 Digital Market. The link is below for Randy Roday's service, and we will be back next week. And yeah, we'll see you in Vegas hopefully as well, guys.
Yes.
Speak to you soon.
Awesome. See ya.
Cheers.